Hi everyone. Uh, Welcome to the second day of our webinar session. Uh, I hope everyone is able to join this YouTube link. We have posted it everywhere. Let us wait for 1 more minute, maybe. Let others also join. Yeah. So just before I start off with the session, let me tell you, we had a very great success with our first webinar session on Excel that we conducted earlier this month. And after the success of first webinar, we thought, why not we do it once again? And that's why we have kept this series of webinar session on upskilling for this entire week. We have a lot of knowledge and we want to share it across all the channels to everyone, to the entire world right now via YouTube. So this is our effort towards sharing our knowledge to everyone. I think hopefully a lot of people have joined by now. And the topic today that I'm going to cover in this upskilling session is intermediate level of Excel and Google Sheets. Majorly, I'll be covering pivot tables and basic dashboarding. I'll also quickly take you through basic tenets of formatting and also how to go about complex functions and how to do complex formulas as well. So before I start off, let me tell you a bit about myself. I've been in data analytics background or domain for more than 5 years now. Day in, day out, I used to work on huge volume of data set wherein I had to apply my knowledge of pivot tables, Excel, app script, SQL queries. Probably next time when I come on this webinar session, I'll be telling you more about how to go deeper, deep dive into higher data sets or bigger data set using SQL queries and app script. So for now, I'll be starting my sessions on pivot table. And yeah, that's about the session, the basic introduction that I wanted to give you about the session today. And yeah, I think a lot of people have joined. I can see through the feed that the attendance is quite healthy today, and we hope to maintain that. And yeah, let me share my screen now. And hopefully, you will be able to see my screen very shortly. Uh, the pivot table example that I'm going to take today is related to the Wishup leave data set. As you can see, the data set that is there in front of you is related to leave that were applied by our employees during the year of 2024. This majorly contains the entire data of month of January, February, March, and bit of April. So yeah, these are probably you can say quarter one of 2024. This is what we are going to use for our pivot table example. So as you can see, I pulled the data directly from our backend data set. Uh, And since you can see the volume of data is quite high, I can go down up to more than 400 rows here. Yeah, it's 444. So this is what I'm going to do here. And just imagine one day one of your client or your reporting manager comes and tells you that why don't you do data analytics on this particular data set? And he might ask you to build a couple of tables on this table to have an aggregated view of the entire data. So maybe he'll ask you get a table wherein you have a month-wise distribution of total leaves. Yeah, and the other table that he is looking for is probably type of leaves, wise total leaves, and then maybe he wants a complex table wherein you have both the information, month and type of the leaves, and then the entire distribution of total leaves. So I can say it will be month plus type wise total leaves. So this is the first problem statement thrown at you by your client or reporting manager. The first three tables that he has asked you to build around this data set. And we can do this manually as well. We can do this using pivot tables. Why I'm talking about manual approach is because I want to showcase how manually approaching this problem is doable, yet it has a lot of problems in it. It will become tedious. It will become prone to a lot of errors when you do it manually. But when you do it by a pivot table approach, it becomes very easily. And that is why I'm going to do it both the ways so that we can see the advantage of pivot tables over manual approach. So let me start off with the manual approach. And before start off with this manual approach, let me tell you, if I do this, if I start my calculation or data analytics on this data set, it will look really bad. Assume that this data set is shared with your client or your reporting manager, and he sees that you have already started working on this unformatted data set. It will look really bad. You will have a bad impression in front of your manager. So before starting off, please make sure that your entire data set is properly formatted. Yeah. So this is where I want to give you a brief hint or basic understanding of formatting. Right now, this is not at all formatted. What I'll do, I'll quickly select all the rows here, give the central alignment. Yeah. Now this looks much better. I'll select all the headers here and bold it. And then I'll give a very slight background color here. Yeah. Now this looks much more better. I can see I don't have a border here. What I'll do, I'll use this to create all the borders. And to make it look even better, what I can do, I can remove the grid lines. Now it's looking much better. But there's one very small, formatting error that we tend to do all the time. When we have a huge data set, and if we keep scrolling down, all my headers are gone, and you will not be able to identify which column is what. So I have three columns stating dates here, and I'll get confused. What is it? So the first step for me would be always to freeze the first row or the first column which contains the important header. So herein, I'll freeze the first row. As you can see, the first column that we have here is the date on which leave was applied. Column B is the employee name field. Uh, just to anonymize the identity of our employees, I've replaced employee's name with celebrity name. Yeah. And the column C, it has type of leaves. First one is paid leave. You can see I've denoted it by PL. The other one is ODL, that is on-demand leave. Then we have sick leave, and then we have unpaid leaves. Column DP, we have from which day to which date leaves were being applied and taken. This column F denotes the total number of leaves that were taken. Okay. So now my raw data set has been formatted, and I'm good to go and create these three tables. Just for the sake of ease, I have created a separate table where I will fill all these data so that I can make it presentable in front of my client or my reporting manager. So the biggest problem right now with my data set is that it does not have month value. So I've already created a column here. What I'll do, I need to extract month from the date here. And since I have been in the data analytics background and I've worked extensively in Google Sheets and MS Excel, I know which particular function to use. It will be text function that I would like to use here. This is my cell that I want to select. This is the format in which I want. So automatically Google Sheets will fill all the data here. Again, sorry, my bad. Uh, mm, if you are new to Google Sheet and Excel and you don't know what to do right now, which function to use, it's very easy. Yeah, you can go ahead and find it out on Google. But nowadays we have a magical tool or a platform called ChatGPT. You just need to write a very quick prompt and it will throw you a very good function output. So I've already done this. I have mentioned it here, how to get month in text format. in cell H2 when we have date mentioned in cell E2. So it has given me exactly the same function. You just have to copy and paste it here. And it'll give you the same output that you wanted. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll again reformat my table. I'll give the formatting that is needed here. Yeah. Otherwise, my table will not look professional enough. So now our table is prepared. I'll go back to manual calculation tab. Yeah. And very intuitively, since I've been working on Excel for quite some time, I know how to calculate this particular field. So I'll use SUMIFs function. I'll just quickly select the range. This is the sum range from which I want to calculate the total number of leaves taken in Jan. And then I need to select the criteria ring. This is for the month. And then I need to select my criteria. This is the one. Yeah, this automatically fills my data set here. So if you look at my total sum is 654. And if I go back here and total this column, this is also 650. So this total number exactly matches with what I was looking for. Again, I will centrally align it so that the formatting looks neat and clean. Similarly, I can do the same process here as well. Just before I go ahead, again, you might be asking this question to me that, I have worked on Google Sheets and Excel for so long, and that is why I know how to use this function. Do not worry, you can give similar prompts to ChatGPT and it will quickly give you results here. So, I gave a very detailed prompt here that I have a leave data set wherein I have this column B, which has employee name C type of. So I've given entire information and I've asked ChatGPT to help me find type of leave wise distribution of total leaves. It will give me the exact very similar function that I can directly apply there. So here, the only difference that you'll see here is that I've selected the entire column there, FFHH, whereas it has restricted the value from cell number 2 to 100. Instead of it, you can directly select the entire column. So very intuitively, you can do these minor changes, but at a very higher level, you can easily get these complex functions directly from ChatGPT. So I feel, a lot of our problems can be solved by using ChatGPT. Now going back to my tables here, again, I'll use the same function, SUMIF. I'll select the sum range. Again, this will be F column. And now since I'm doing this distribution by type of leaf, this is my type of leaf. Sorry, my bad. And then I'll select the criterion here. Once I close, yeah, see, Google Sheets will automatically fill the entire data. Now I have month-wise distribution of leaves, and then I have type of leaves by distribution of leaves as well. Again, I'll centrally realign it, make it look much more professional. Yeah. So the third table that I want to create right now is I want a complex distribution wherein in the vertical column I have the month information and in the horizontal rows I have type of leaves distribution, whether it is paid leave, on demand leave, sick leave, or unpaid leaves. Again, I will use the same SUMIF function. I'll go select my row. I'll select my column, my bad. And yeah, so the criterion range, the first criterion range is month. One second. Let me redo it. Yeah. So the first criterion range is month. The month I've selected. The second criteria that I want to do is type of leaves. And the type of leaf that I want to use here is PM. So I'll close this formula, enter it. I have my number here. But when you drag it down, this will not work for us. Do you know why? Yeah, because we have not fixed our uh, type of leaves information here. So if you look at this is moving from this is C19. Yeah, this should be C19, but here it should be D17. Instead of it, it has become D18. So we need to first fix it. We need to fix this. We need to fix the rows information here, the criteria information here, that it always picks PL. When you drag it down, it will move the cells. We don't want that to happen. We want to fix the cells here. So what I'll do, I'll go back here. I'll put a dollar sign here. See, now it has automatically filled the column. Because I have frozen this uh, D17. This will always use the criteria as PL. But when you do it horizontally, again, this will not work because this one, the January value or the month value is moving, shifting from cell C18 to C19. Again, what do we need to do? We need to fix the cell here. I'll go back. C and add a dollar value here, and then I'll drag it. Oh, bad. Okay. So what I missed here, guys, do you know? Even my ranges are moving. So I need to fix my ranges as well. I'll go back. What I'll do, I'll select everything here. Shift F4. I'll select everything here. I'll do function F4, my bad. And now if I drag it, again, it's not working. Give me a moment. Let me debug it. So this is F column. The F column we are fetching data, the night and H column. This is the month data, the month data, 318, yes. Okay. So I missed, you know, fixing this particular piece. Wait, I haven't fixed this. I'll just do, now this should work. Yeah. See, uh, even me, after, spending so much time of Excel and, so many years on Excel and Google Sheet, yet I am prone to making mistakes here. Why? Because, people tend to confuse wherein you need to put the dollar sign, which rows do you need to fix, and this is exactly the problem that you're going to face when you're working on large data set and you want to try and do manual calculations here. So what I can do alternatively, if you still want to go ahead with the manual approach, you can use chat gpt. You can ask it to create formulas for you. Even for this particular table, I think I have written it somewhere. Yeah. See, I have mentioned it here. Help me build a table where row header has month information. It will exactly tell me the formula that I can use. See, this is very similar to the formula that I was using. It will help me build it. But again, manual calculations are not preferred. It usually tends to go into error. And this is the reason why pivot tables were built in first place. Whenever we are working on large data set, uh, we can directly fetch the aggregated view using the function of pivot tables. So let me let me go ahead and take you to the next phase of this exercise. How do we go about and build a pivot table? So what I'll do, I'll quickly select this entire data range. I'll go to insert and click on pivot table. So the first option it will give whether I want to build this pivot table in a new sheet or existing sheet. A lot of times I want to do it in the existing sheet, but right now I will do it in the new sheet. Let me create a new sheet. Okay. The rows value, as you can see in the first table, the row value is month, and then the value is total leaves. So in the rows column, I'll select the month information, and in the values section, I'll click the total number of days. See, so it's so easy when you are working on pivot tables, it becomes so easy. This is exactly why pivot tables were built in the first place. Here, guys. So let me quickly, okay. So this is the first table that we built. Now we have another table here. The We'll remove the rows here, and then we'll add type of the type of the leaves. So now we have distribution of leaves with respect to type of leaf, ODL, PL, SL, and unpaid leaves. You will see this will exactly match here. Exactly, it will match here. Okay. So it has become so easy now. So let me just quickly add the third table here, the third and the complex table that we were trying to build. You'll see how quickly we can do it. I'll just remove the rows from here. I'll add the month information, and in the column, I'll add the type of leaves. So yeah, see, creating this table has become so easy for us. Now, this entire table, which took us a lot of time, which was prone to so many errors, we're not facing that problem here. We can easily build that here. Yeah. And yeah, that's so easy when you're working with pivot tables. So now what we can do, yeah, if you remember very initially, I said that I can, or we can quickly create a dashboard around this entire information. What I'll do, I'll first build a chart here. We already have this information. Sorry, my bad. I'm going through last entire week I was down with fever, with viral, and that is why I keep on coughing. So please bear with me. Let me just quickly insert a chart here. So if you look, we have already inserted a chart. But do you guys see there's a problem here? Our month is not sorted. So, this is a very peculiar problem that you'll face in Google Sheets. Google Sheet does not automatically sort your month. So it will either sort you by total number of days, or it will sort by ascending or descending the alphabetical order. That's all it will provide. That's all Google Sheet provides in sorting options. So how do we go about it? I don't want to look at this data. This is not presentable at all. So there's a way to go around it. What I'll do, I'll go back to my data and I'll create a helper column here. So this is the reason why I've already tagged this column as H. I'll mark it as helper column. What I'll do, I already have this information. I have created a very small unique table wherein Jan is denoted by 1, Feb is denoted by 2, March is denoted by 3, so on. So I'll use VLOOKUP here. This is my search key. This is my search range. Okay, and happen. Okay, made a mistake. My search key. This is my search range. Then second index 0. Yeah. So here we go. We have denoted our month by the helper column now. I'll centrally align it and give the same formatting as this one. And I'll centrally align. So you see, the formatting is also very important, even though this looks very minuscule. But without formatting, this will start looking unprofessional. Let's not go that way. So now I have this additional information of helper column. I'll go back to my pivot table sheet. What I'll do, I'll try to bring in the helper column information here. In the rows, first I'll bring in the helper column, and then I'll bring in the month. Now, as per the helper column, this is automatically sorted. My Jan is coming first, then Feb, and March. And similarly, I'll do the same exercise here as well. I'll remove the month information from the rows. First, I'll add helper, and then I'll add month information. Sorry. See, what I can do, I will just quickly hide this particular piece here so that our focus is away from helper column. And this is the major part of the table that I want to look at. I'll quickly add a chart here. Yeah, centrally align everything. Mm, totals from here. And if I reduce the font size and uh, let me add slicer as well. There's one very good function or feature attached in Google Sheets and Excel right now is to add slicer. I'll add slicer here. Okay, choose the column of month. So right now, my entire data set will change by changing the selection here in the slicer. If I just want to look at Jan and Feb, I just have to make only one change here using slicer. Or if I just want to look at April and Feb, this is all we need to do. We need to keep changing or keep toggling or selecting or unselecting using the slicer. This is how I'll do. I'll quickly just give a small background color. Yeah, and keep the font color as black. So yeah, this is how you do it, a quick way of doing the dashboarding. This is how I do it. Normally, when I have a huge data set, I usually do my calculation using pivot tables. You can do a lot of stuff here, try to make it look as formatted as possible. Formatting is the key, guys. I can just do a lot of formatting here. I do a lot of formatting here. I please make sure all this formatting are properly done before you show this output to your manager. There are multiple ways to do it, multiple ways to make it look good. Yeah. So yeah, this is all I wanted to show you on Google Sheets. A very similar activity can be done on MS Excel as well, Microsoft Excel. Uh, so here, I'll just quickly jump to my Microsoft Excel sheet. So when people, I just wanted to inform everyone that intuitively you would be able to work on Excel if you have this habit on working on Google Sheets, vice versa. So, earlier I started working on Excel and moving, I switched one company from another, and therein the tradition was to use Google Sheets. Very intuitively, I started working on Google Sheets as well. There are very minor changes in syntaxes or small functions or small buttons here and there. Once you start working on it, it will become very easy. So, what I did, I just copy pasted the entire data from here. Sorry. This entire data set is copy pasted here. I haven't done anything special here. So very similarly, you need to just quickly select everything here, and then you have to insert pivot table. Yeah, again, very similarly, this is asking whether you want to create a new sheet or the existing sheet. So if you look at MS Excel, it's slightly different in the UI, but very similar to the functionality that is there in Google Sheets as well. Here, there, if you look at, oh, all right. If you look at the pivot table here, so for rows, we had a add button. For columns, we had a add button. For values, we had a add button. But in Excel, we don't have that feature. Excel, you just have to click your buttons here. The entire columns or data set is mentioned in this particular box. You can choose to directly drag it here, yeah, or you can choose to directly select it here. So, either way it works. So I can drag the values here in this particular type. Oh, my bad, guys. And the one of the biggest advantage with MS Excel is that you don't need helper column here. MS Excel automatically identifies the value of month here, and they have sorted it automatically. So this is the very small difference between MS Excel and Google Sheets that I can tell you right now. But apart from it, it's very similar. Yeah. So, we can do similar formatting here. Similar way we can do the calculation here. See, the third table, the complex one, some complex table that we wanted to build, it's there. So it's very easy. In both the places, you just have to select your raw data and go to insert, click on pivot table. I did the similar thing here as well. I just selected the entire data set. I went to insert and clicked on pivot tables. As soon as you click on it, you will have your tables here. Sorry. And you will have multiple features here. Right now, what I can say that if you want to explore, you can have multiple things here. There are a lot of things to explore. Yeah, just the way if you want, uh, your entire value can be, instead of some, you can count it here as well. You can do average as well. You can do median, product, whatever you want, you can be done. And then instead of throwing the exact values, you can look at it at an percentage level as well. You know, see, I can have my percentages as well here. So initially, I was counting it. I was looking at the exact values, but at times when you look at the data with percentage value, it makes more sense to you. So if I look at the data, this will make more sense to me right now because my data is evenly distributed here. So the very purpose of doing data analytics is to find out insights. So once your client or your reporting manager gave you data set or asked you to do this exercise, the very purpose of this exercise would be to find out insights, inferences, so that you can turn those insights into actions. So right now, what I can see that January, February has been they all have been very even month in terms of the leaves taken. So there is no, anomaly happening here. Why April is so small? Because the data set is not complete for April. I think I've added only first week of April here. That is why this is not complete. Yeah. So the insight, the very first insight that I can derive from this data set is that uh, January, February, March, all the 3 months have been very consistent in terms of total leaves taken. So now let me go and look at my other table. You can see ODL was not taken at all in Feb and March, but rest of the leaves were taken. So you might wonder why people were not taking ODL in Feb and March. The easiest example, easiest answer to this can be on-demand leaves were at all not available in Feb and March. That is why no one either used it, or maybe it was available for one or two instances, but people wanted it to save their ODLs for later part of the year. Yeah, and PLs were taken evenly, but then there are a lot of unpaid leaves. Yeah, guys. I think PL are quite normal. SL is also normal. There is a kink here, jump in SL here, but I see a huge number of unpaid leaves. So maybe what I can do, I'll just quickly copy paste this data or this table. I'll remove the helper, remove the row, because I want to investigate further where are these unpaid leaves coming from. This is the exact I think this is the exact problem statement thrown at you. Once you go deep dive in the data, you start to find out anomalies. And for me, 229 unpaid leaves seems to be like a big number. So what I do, I instead of column, wait, I'll remove the column here as well. In the rows, I'll have my VA name, and there's also a function of filters. So what I can do, I'll go add type of filter here, and I'll unclick everything else apart from unpaid. Now I have this entire data set. Let me just remove this color. This is very distracting. Yeah. So let me go one by one. So there are people who have taken 2 or 4 unpaid leave. That's understandable. But if somebody's taking 10 or 18 unpaid leave, that seems to be a very big number. 44, this seems to be a very big number. And for matter of fact, I know these people, even though their names have been anonymized, but these are the people I've cross-checked at the back end. These are the people who were severely, you know, down with some health issues, and that is why they had to take such long leaves. So, and there was a death in family of this particular person, so he was away from the system for quite some time, and these two people were down with health issues. So, intuitively, you can find the reasons why people are taking such long leaves. Again, there's the case of this person. So this is how you do deep diving into your data set, how you try to understand your data, how you look at it, how do you use your pivot tables to extract insights. Yeah, this is about it, and this is all I wanted to showcase in today's session. I have wrapped it up quite early, but the intention was always to give value from this session rather than extending it and making it to 1 hour. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to showcase to everyone how we can utilize the power of pivot tables. At times, it will look that pivot tables are complex. Using various functionalities of pivot tables might seem to be complex, but then right now you have so many places from where you can fetch this information. You can go use ChatGPT to create these pivot tables. ChatGPT will give you exact step-by-step information how to build these tables. If you go back and visit my previous webinar, the first webinar that we did on Excel, I have exactly showcased that particular example where I have given a prompt to the ChatGPT, and it has helped me build this particular pivot table. So all of it can be done. You just need to have a bit of motivation and perseverance. Just go about, start to play around with the data. And right now, I feel whenever I am working on Google Sheets or MS Excel, I have this habit of always keeping the Chat GPT tab open, so that a lot of times I also tend to forget how to build those complex functions, or at times I just forget, because I'm toggling between Excel and Google Sheets. There is some syntax issues also, syntax differences also. So I just have to put a prompt that I need this particular function for MS Excel, or I need this particular function for Google Sheets, and ChatGPT will automatically give me that output, and that optimizes my productivity and increases my efficiency to next level. So this is the what we wanted to share. Uh, yeah, let me go through the chat and find out if we have any questions here. Guys, I'm open to Q&A right now. If you have any questions, please drop your questions here on the chat box. I'm going through the chat box of our live feed. And if you have any questions, please do drop. And just the way I said, the very difference between Google Sheet, I think I can see one question, and this question was previously also raised here. The question was, what is the difference between Google Sheets and MS Excel? So since MS Excel is, we do calculations and all these features are done offline. Uh, the capacity to hold data is higher in MS Excel, whereas Google Sheets, everything is on cloud, and you're doing it live on your browser. So the capacity of holding data set is reduced when you're dealing with Google Sheets. There are slight syntaxes differences between Google Sheets and MS Excel, but intuitively you will know the differences, or you can just go and clarify those differences on Google, or you can just type it out on ChatGPT and find it out. So yeah, guys, these are the basic differences between Google Sheets and uh, MS Excel. And but if you there are so many more features, probably when we have our next webinar, I'll go deeper into the other features. Right now what I did, I extracted the entire data set, and pasted here on one tab where I did the initial formatting. But Google Sheets and MS Excel has this feature that you can directly connect your sheets to SQL tables and extract the data from there using SQL queries. So I have this question here. Is it advisable to use slicer options all the time while providing the output? No, no, Joel, there's no need. It's up to you. I just wanted to make it look fancy. But in my corporate experience, I've seen a lot of times that your dashboard looks much more neat, much more beautiful, much more fancier when you have slicer there. There's no need at all. But the biggest functionality that you get with slicer is that you can make changes in your entire dashboard using the slicer. So that's the only purpose. If you don't want to do that, there's no need of it. Yeah. And yeah, agree with the person who has said that there's no need to save Google Sheets. So one of the biggest advantage of Google Sheet is that it's automatically saved every second, whereas in MS Excel, you have to save it on your own. I remember that I lost huge amount of data because I did not, save it, and my laptop crashed. So I had to do the entire calculation from the very scratch. Yeah. So there is a question that is there any AI integrations on spreadsheets that you are aware of? Yeah, definitely. We have this Chat GPT add-on MS Excel. I have specifically gave example of this particular add-on in my previous webinar. This webinar, the link of these webinars will be attached in this in the YouTube feed, YouTube link. Please go through it. You will get to know valuable information there, how we can integrate AI with AI features or AI with our Google Sheets and Excels. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunity there. You can use a lot of ChatGPT add-ons, or you can directly fetch your information or functions from ChatGPT and apply it here. So yeah, that's about it. I think we are done with the question. And before I end this session, please watch the entire video, rewatch it, share it with your friends and family, whoever is working in or around Excel or Google Sheets. Please share, link, subscribe. We have a lot of incoming learning upskilling sessions. It will keep on happening. Please. Please do attend all the sessions this entire week. We are presenting different upskilling sessions. The first one was on AI feature in various VA tools. Uh, Today we did on Excel. Very shortly or tomorrow, I think it will be on content. Then we have it on Zapier. Zapier is a very beautiful automation tool. And then finally, on Friday, we'll have it on written and verbal communication skill. So please, guys, please attend all these sessions. These are very important sessions specifically for the VA community. We have specifically made and curated all these sessions so that we can benefit the entire VA community, not just VAs from Wishup. Our knowledge is open to everyone. Please go ahead and watch it. Thank you, guys.